What is up, guys? It is Mooks of the West from Geeks of the West. What is going on? And I currently work a job, part-time 20, part-time 20. I'm guaranteed 12. I'm guaranteed 20 hours a week. I could get more depending on whether or not I'm called in. If other people call in sick, basically. And I only make a couple cents above minimum wage. I live in an apartment with my single mother. Well, she's kind of single, but I don't live with my dad. Not that, he's a bad person or anything. He's in my life. But for the most part, my mom's paying all the bills here. And I got a job to help my mom and support her. I have a 98 truck. My mom has a 2002 truck, Ford. Um, and I didn't get my high school diploma. I'm getting my GED through the community college here. I've been questioned by the cops before, and you know what that must be? That must be my white privilege. Yes, guys, I said it. It is my white privilege. That is right. I have it made because of my white privilege. It's fucking amazing. I'm rolling in the dough because my mom is making so much money, less than $12 an hour, and having to work over 40 hours a week because, she's white and she has white privilege. So it's kind of amazing. I'm living the dream. I live in a small rural town that smells like cow shit all the time because of my white privilege. Yes, my white privilege is why I am today. One of my friend's dads. He makes $16 an hour. He's that's good money. That's not dropout money. And he's supporting 2 kids and his wife who's sick. Oh, they're renting a house. So they're renting a house. So at least they're living in a house that's falling apart that they don't own. Strange. They're eligible for food stamps because, oh, wait, that's strange. His mom can't work because she's sick and she's white. White privilege, guys, white privilege. My dad, he was a master technician. He was making great money, almost anywhere from $40,000 to $70,000 a year he was making when he was a master technician. But he got fired, and he has a record for shit he did when he was 20 years old. He's now 47. Nobody's gonna hire him because he's old, overqualified with a record. White privilege. Must be his white privilege. My grandma lives in a $600 apartment that's really only worth $200, $300 a month. Should really be low income. She needs food stamps even though she's retired. She's white. Oh. So white privilege. That's right, white privilege. My cousin has had several jobs that only pay minimum wage, and he graduated high school with a high school diploma, and he's making minimum wage. Must be his white privilege. My other cousin, he's into drugs. Well, he wasn't into drugs. Now he quit drugs, and now he's making minimum wage at a gas station. He got his GED, which is technically a high school equivalent. Oh, he's making minimum wage. It must be it's his white privilege. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? I hope you see what I'm saying. The white privilege is why we're here where we are today. White privilege may exist in some aspects of your life, just as well as black privilege will exist in certain aspects in your life. But my family, you look at my family, and you're going to tell me that white privilege exists? Granted, on my mom's side, they are Cherokee Indian, but we look white. And we never put down that we're Indian on any applications we fill out because we don't want those benefits. But you know what? If we did put down that we were Cherokee Indian, guess what we would get? It wouldn't be white privilege, it would be Indian privilege. My mom is very eligible for many Indian benefits. She could fish if she wanted to, any time of the year, almost, because of her Indian redskin privilege. That's amazing. I can't do that. I don't have enough Indian in me. My white privilege is why even my high school graduate family members are making minimum wage and relying on food stamps. It was the white privilege that got us here. And guess what? We're all fucking white. You want to tell me white privilege exists? And what makes me mad is when people try to dismiss that, they try to say white privilege exists because a lot of rich white people are the ones saying that white privilege doesn't exist. What about the poor white people that are saying that white privilege doesn't exist? Or is it... Are we ignoring that? Why are we ignoring that? Strange. Let me tell you a story about something that happened to me 4 years ago. I'm out of high school. I would have graduated this year as a senior. 4 years ago, when I don't think I was a freshman in school yet. I might have been a freshman in school. I'm not sure, but it might have been the summer before my freshman year. It was around that area, 2010, 2011, give or take. I want to say 2010, 2011. And it was a couple days before. It was like 1 or 2 days before this shit went down. I was sitting on the curb with a friend who was a girl. And we were talking, bonding, because I was slightly... She was interested in me. I wasn't interested in her. But I was, we were still hanging out. We were friends. Talking. We saw this fire next to a couple trees. It was a small fire. It wasn't causing any harm. And I thought maybe the person over there said it because it wasn't burning shit down. It looked like a controlled fire. And some old lady happened to walk down the street. Didn't think nothing of it. Eventually, the fire went out. Me and my friend went back home, did our thing. It was either a night or 2 nights after that happened. I was standing outside at 11 o'clock at night with some of my friends. And the squad car comes up, does a loop around the apartment complex. It was almost like a cul-de-sac apartment complex. You go around like this little loop. It goes around. And we didn't think nothing of it. We waved at the cop. He waved back. Next thing I know, he comes back through. And this is a local cop. He's not a sheriff. He's not a state trooper. And, he comes through. Rolls down his window. He's like, hey, did you guys see a fire a couple nights? And I told him, yeah, I saw a fire a couple nights ago. He gets out of his car. There's no other squad cars at this point. And he's like, oh, so you saw a fire? And I said, yeah. He's like, you didn't report it? I'm like, no. So, a deputy pulls up, sheriff squad car pulls up. And then behind him, a state trooper squad car pulls up. And they're in their car. They can't hear nothing. They're parking. And the cop he starts questioning me. He's like, oh, so you didn't report the fire at all? I go, no, officer, I didn't report the fire. He's like, it's legal, right? I'm like, well, I thought somebody was just burning something. And he goes, oh, it's illegal, right? And I go, no, I didn't know that was illegal, because I honestly didn't. So he continues to question me, and he's like, okay, well, technically, it's illegal to burn something after 10 o'clock, blah, 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 during the summer, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, officer, I didn't know that. Next time I'll report something like that. That happened. He goes, do you know who started the fire? I go, no, I don't. And then, eventually, the deputy and sheriff pull out. So I'm getting questioned by city police, deputy, and state trooper. They're there. So the local cop, he goes, I'm gonna need to speak to your, I'm gonna need to see your parent. Because at this point, I wasn't gonna answer any more questions because I didn't like what they were insinuating. And you know, they wanted to be safe and question me in front of my mom. So I go get my mom. This 10:30. My mom works at 4:30 in the morning, so she's a little pissed off at this point. I get my mom, tell her that there's cops outside, and there's 3 of them standing outside my door. My friends are all watching from a distance, and the cop goes to my mom, "Your son reported that he saw a fire," and blah blah blah. And we're trying to figure out who it was, and we think he might know who started it. And instantly, this sets me off. It sets my mom off. My mom at first believes him because, you know, what are you gonna believe when your 14-year-old son is standing at the door with 3 different cops telling, you know, parent that I started a fire or some shit. And they continue to tell her that I know information and I'm not telling them. Right? And so this goes on for a while and they start asking me questions, and you know, I understand they're doing their job, but they were being kind of assholes about it. They weren't being, you know, nice about it or anything. So like I said, I'm cooperating with the cops. I'm answering them honestly. And I swear to God, I'm answering them honestly. I'm answering them to the best of my abilities. And the state trooper looks at my mom and says, "Your son said he saw who started the fire, and he won't tell us." Pisses me off. And my mom looks at me like she's about ready to fucking kill me when the cops leave. I swear to God. I was like, oh shit. And I look at the state trooper. I am pissed off. And he reminds me of like a wannabe version of Walker the Texas Ranger. The local cop looks like Harry Potter with his chubby cheeks. Like a piggy version of Harry Potter. And chubby cheeks, little glasses. Like the little peewee version of Harry Potter. And then the other one's like Waldo. You just don't even know he's there. He's really quiet. And that's the deputy. So he like I said, he tells my mom, "Your son said he saw who started the fire, and now he won't tell us." And then I look at him and I go, "Bullshit." And this is me, 14 years old. It pissed me off because he's not at this point. They're not questioning. They're putting words in my mouth, trying to get me to admit something, which pisses me off. Because I'm cooperating with him to the best of my abilities. And after he said that, I go, "Bullshit. You were still in your car when I was talking to the other cop." I said it like that. I was a little more tense, a little more pissed off. And seriously, it really pissed me off. He doesn't say shit after that. Does not say shit and looks away because he's wrong. He knows I'm right. Because he fucked up when he tried telling my mom that I said I saw who started the fire. Like I said, I go, "Bullshit, you not fucking..." I wanted to say that, but I go, "Bullshit, you were still in your car." I'm pointing my finger at him. I'm like, "You were still in your car when he was questioning me." And they didn't say shit about that because they knew I was right. Because I was not about to let him put shit into my mouth that I did not say. Because that was pissing me off. Okay. So then they ask me, they're like, "Okay, well, was anybody with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, with us. We saw the fire." They're like, "Oh, well, you said somebody's with you. Now you're changing your story. Now you start remembering stuff." And I look at him. I'm like, "What are you kidding me?" And he goes, "Did you see anybody else?" And I said, "Yeah, there were these 3 boys." Like, "Oh, now you remember." And I'm like, No, these 3 boys had nothing to do with the fire because I was hanging out with them later on that night. And then they start acting like smart ass, like I withheld information from them, or like I all of a sudden remember, which was bullshit. And I told them, I was like, no, that was not part of my story whatsoever. I'm not changing my story. I'm just adding an extra detail that happened to them, that happened later that night. They came from the opposite direction of the fire after the fire. And we hung out after that. We weren't causing any trouble. We weren't even drinking. We weren't even smoking shit. We were just hanging out at night. Probably the most illegal thing we did was we were out after curfew. So I told them the girl I was with who saw the fire too. So they go and they try to knock on her door. Whatever. And I'm not with them at the time. So they come back and they say, "Yeah, see, the girl said... she told us everything. She said that you saw who started the fire." And I said, "No, she didn't, because we never saw who started the fucking fire. And my mom's pissed. Okay. And I tell them this is bullshit because I did not tell you anything about who started the fucking fire. Eventually, you know, they tell me that if you're lying, you're gonna get in trouble, blah 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 blah. And, you know, that part, they're doing their job. I understand that, but it pissed me off the way they went about it. And of course, they can get away with it. They can put shit into your mouth, try to get you to admit something. But this pisses me off because I swear to God, I've never done anything illegal other than fucking hanging out after fucking curfew. So they go, and, you know, next to squad cars, and they're talking. And my girlfriend's with me, but she's watching in the distance with my friend. So I go out to get my girlfriend. And the cops look at me like, no, you're not supposed to be out after curfew. You need to go back inside. And I look at them like I'm getting my girlfriend. Meanwhile, my friends are fucking standing there, and they're not saying shit about it. They tell me I'm not supposed to be out after curfew. After being jackasses to me, after me cooperating, but my friends, no, they're fine. They're allowed to be out after curfew. Pisses me off. But you know what the great thing about this story is? They didn't find out shit because I wasn't involved in it. And they were threatening me, telling me that, you know, you're gonna go to jail if we find out that you're lying to us. And the fucking Walker, Texas Ranger State Trooper. This is in Oregon. State troopers out here are fucking jackasses. He looks at me and he's like, boy, if you're lying, we will find out. I'm like, whatever, I'm not lying to you. And I was being a smartass because at first I was being nice and I was cooperating. And then I got annoyed and I thought it was bullshit. I mean, I understand that they were doing their job, but they were being dicks about it. End of the story. I haven't heard from them again. Haven't even seen those cops again. State trooper probably isn't anywhere around here. Probably doing something else in another part of the state. I might have seen the Harry Potter cop. I feel like I've seen him before. But a lot of cops look really geeky with glasses. So, I mean, I wasn't thinking nothing about that. I haven't seen the Waldo deputy cop. And I just want to say that I was questioned by the cops. And I almost got accused of doing shit that I didn't do. And I'm fucking white. This was over a teeny little fire. Oh, the story doesn't end there. I go look at the fire the next day. I go into the driveway and I look. It's a couple pieces of sticks, a little couple pieces of wood that were burning in between two fucking trees. And they tried telling me that a tree was set on fire. And you know what pissed me off? They didn't even look at the fucking tree. If they would have looked at the fucking tree, they could have saved them a bunch of time. Oh, nobody set a fucking tree on fire. Amazing. It was a tree that was on fire, supposedly. I forgot to mention that detail. But yeah, it was just a couple pieces of fucking lumber, pieces of fucking twigs that were on fucking fire next to the fucking tree, but not close enough to the tree to fucking catch it on fire. The tree was fine. The tree was fine. There was no fire damage, and this is the fucking morning. Anyway, I haven't heard from the cops since. 4 years later, or 5 years later, I'm fucking fine. They haven't said shit. And I just want to say that is white fucking privilege. I get questioned by the cops over a little teeny insy bincy fucking fire. That wasn't even that big of a deal because it was just a couple pieces of lumber that they could have figured out. Just imagine how those cops were just for a little teeny fire that they didn't even look at. Imagine how it would have been if I was a smartass like how I was and it was for something serious like a robbery or theft. Or an actual tree was set on fucking fire that set a house on fucking fire. That is my white privilege getting me questioned by the police. I didn't get shot dead, of course. You know why? Because I wasn't doing anything that would threaten the cop. I was being a fucking smartass. That was it. But that's my white privilege. I didn't get shot by the cops. So I just want people to know that it doesn't matter what fucking skin color you are to get in trouble with the fucking police. Because I almost got in trouble for something I had nothing to do with. And these were white cops in a fucking hick town, and I'm white. Okay. I tan. I'm kind of brown, but other than that, I'm fucking white. I'm as Caucasian as you're gonna fucking get with a little Indian, but nobody would believe me if I told them I was Indian, because I'm not even enough Indian to receive fucking benefits. And let me just go on saying that I get no benefits, no scholarships for being white. None. No fucking scholarships, benefits for being fucking white. but there's a Mexican that lives here, and one of my best friends who's Mexican that lives in another state, getting free fucking college because they're Mexican. Because they're fucking Mexican. And I get fucking shit. I love them. I'm glad they're getting, I'm glad they're getting free college. They're hardworking. They work just as hard as I do, and they live in just shithole as I do. But I'm not getting benefits because I'm white. Black people getting fucking scholarships, and I told this to my history teacher one time, and he didn't even, he argued. He was like, well, that's because black people and Mexicans are a minority. They're trying to, if you look at the percentage of white people in college versus the percentage of black people and minorities in college, it's just an incentive to get them all to go to school. And I look at him, and I was about ready to refute, but he went on to another person with another opinion. I didn't even get a back up my argument. I would have told him, like, oh, so you don't think that's creating a race problem? Giving benefits to somebody who's not white, because that's not racist. And like, oh, more white people are going to college than Mexicans and black people? This is true? Well, what is the population of fucking white people versus fucking Mexicans and black people? What's the word you said? Minority? It's a wonder minorities are a minority in fucking college. Imagine that. It's not that much of a fucking surprise that somebody with a bigger population is gonna have a bigger population in fucking college. That is literally the fucking statistic. I have met so many white kids who are more trouble than any fucking black kids in my life, and they are in probation, getting in trouble. It must be because of the white privilege. They haven't gotten shot yet, or more like because they haven't fucking resisted a fucking arrest, or had fucking weapons on them, or pointing guns at fucking cops. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little worked up. Because it's the white privilege. White privilege, guys. White privilege is why I'm so successful. No, I'm alive because I don't threaten fucking cops. I'm only a smart ass to cops when they are being jackasses. And I wasn't even being that much of a smart ass. I just corrected them. I was like, no, bullshit. Other than that, I was cooperative. I wasn't punching cops. I didn't have a bunch of people with me that were hitting on the cops too while the cop was trying to arrest me. I've never been arrested because, for the most part, I stay out of trouble. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't carry around fucking guns. I own a shotgun, and guess what? I haven't pointed it at a cop. I don't even point toy guns at cops. You know why? Because I want to live. That's fucking why. Alright, I'm done with my little rant there. This is Mooks of the West from Geeks of the West signing out. Peace out. Have a good one. White privilege. Yeah.